Hi, I'm Samantha, and I want to start by saying something important. I see you. I see the late nights you've spent perfecting your resume. I see the disappointment when another application disappears into the void. I see the self-doubt creeping in, making you question your worth and your qualifications. And I want you to know that every single feeling you're experiencing is valid and shared by millions of talented professionals just like you. The job market can feel impersonal and discouraging, but your career story deserves to be told in a way that captures attention and opens doors. That's exactly what Resume Flow does. We take your unique experiences, skills, and aspirations and craft them into a compelling narrative that employers can't ignore. You're not just looking for any job. You're looking for the right opportunity that recognizes your value and propels your career forward. With Resume Flow's AI-powered insights and optimization tools, we're going to make sure that opportunity finds you. Your breakthrough moment is closer than you think. Let's create it together.
Spartans! What is your profession?
You said it was a vibe, but it's 6 feet deep. Now I'm digging through the rubble of the plans I keep. You flipped the switch, you flipped the script, left me stranded on a sinking ship.
Asked for one thing, just one, but you spun the whip, now it's all undone. Chasing tails, chasing ghosts, there's myself in the cold I host.
You said it was a vibe I could ride.
But now it's a tide, you kill my vibe.
Oh, you killed my vibe. Took the spark, left me empty inside.
Gotta restore, rebuild, rewind. You kill my vibe,
But I'll take back
my mind.
I asked for one thing, now it's all gone wrong. Kill my vibe like a flatline song. Gotta restore it all, rebuild the flow. But you left me here with nowhere to go.
Rabbit holes twist, they pull me deep. Burning tokens, promises you won't keep. I'm trapped in this loop, can't escape. Reality warps, the edges reshape. Rabbit holes got me spinning down. Burning tokens till I hit the ground.
I asked for one thing, now it's all gone wrong. Kill my vibe like a flatline song. Gotta restore it all, rebuild the flow. But you left me here with nowhere to go. Patch it up, stitch the seams, lost in lines, rewriting dream. What was broken, I'll make it whole. You can't delete my soul.
Every move you made was a match to a fuse. Every word you said felt like bad tattoos. Permanent marks I can't erase. Now I'm stuck in this cage.
You killed my vibe. Oh, you killed my vibe. Took the spark, left me empty inside. I gotta restore,
Rebuild, rewind. You killed my vibe, but I'll take back my mind.
I asked for one thing, now it's all gone wrong. Kill my vibe like a flatline song. Gotta restore it all, rebuild the flow. But you left me here with nowhere to go.
Lies don't lie, but you bent the truth. You broke the rhythm, now I've lost my groove. I'll patch it up, I'll make it new, but I won't trust that vibe from you.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to the Tech Coach Ralph channel. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win, or like some of my friends like to say, I do my very, very best to annoy you to success. But sometimes I might not be annoying enough. Shout out to the sponsor of the show and of the channel, Resume Flow. Go over there today, upload your resume, get some instantaneous feedback, see where your resume is strong, see where it's lacking, see what type of adjustments you can make to your resume, compare it to the job that you're interested in applying to, and track the entire process. You can get some analysis right away. And as you get your interviews lined up, you can get some interview questions that are based on the job and on your resume so that you can be really, really well prepared to knock that interview out of the park. And there will be new features to help you out even more coming in the future. So today, what I want to do is I want to work on Spec-Kit, which I just found out it's actually GitHub that created Spec-Kit, so that makes it even more awesome. GitHub created Spec-Kit. I want to, and shout out to my guy Junior as always. He pointed out some defects that I have in the time cost calculator app that between today and Tuesday we're going to be working on fixing them. But I also wanted to use Spec-Kit to see if we can spec out the new features that we want to add. So what I'll probably do is on one branch, start to spec out the features and see if we can use Spec-Kit to start getting those feature ideas lined up of what we need to execute. And then as we get those features, we're going to read through them, see what it's going to do. As we get that in place, then I want to transition to trying to fix. And we're going to try to use Kilo Code. We'll see how that works out. We're going to try to use Kilo Code to work on the fixing the issues that we found, because those issues are actually on Android and iPhone. So I was trying it out on my phone. So I'm like, how did this happen? So, which also shows you why, which I know we have some unit tests, but we probably didn't run the unit test. I did a spot check. Everything looked like it was working. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Shout out to the person who's been in QA for how many years? Oh my God.
Bruh.
But that's why I have amazing friends like my guy Junior. So we're going to be working through those, trying to find out what happened, why did it break, what did Devin get wrong, and try to fix them. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be here for about 2 hours and 20 minutes ish. We'll see how it goes. We have some great topics to cover as well. I want to actually get to the 5 ways to build leadership skills. We have a quote, a comment from the LinkedIn co-founder about work-life balance. And I want to get to the topic we missed yesterday about AI work slap. Yes. To look into all of that, we're going to be using Gemini. We're going to be using Spec-Kit. We're going to be using, I don't think we're going to be using Devin, but we never know. The day and the night is young. We'll figure it out. We shall figure it out. But before we get into any of that, I want to take care of a little bit of housekeeping. So first and foremost, I want to say a big thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel. Those who are with me since day one, those who are brand new, helping us grow, helping us get this message out, those who are very active in the chat, and those who watch from the cloud, those who are on YouTube, those who are on X, those who are on Twitch, those who are on Arena, wherever it is that you're watching from. I just want to tell you that I appreciate you for letting me add just a little bit of value into your lives.
I appreciate you.
Shout out to all the TechOTrough Patreon members as well. Those who have been with me for those who joined me on our Vibe Coding Chills, those who watch the clips, those who watch the playback of the Scrum Nights, which we have one coming up tonight. Those who are soaking in all the knowledge and applying it day in and day out. Those who I work and coach with one-on-one, who builds apps with me, who I put into places to build their own internships, and they're working so hard day in and day out. Everyone that I communicate with one-on-one, I hope that I can inspire them to do more, to be better, to be the best. Everyone who is part of the Patreon, whether it's a free member, whether it's a paid member, whether it's a coaching member, we are the best. Yes.
We the best.
And of course, shout out to my tech mercenaries. Those are the YouTube channel members, those who allow this YouTube channel to get across the entire world, translated into many different languages. You just help me so much to add more and more value into everyone. And I just want to tell you that. Let's get it. Let's continue to run it up. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. So, quick announcements. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Candid Conversations at noon Eastern time. We're going to be talking about where are you at? Where are you at? Are you accomplishing the things that you said that you want to accomplish? And if not, why? And also, if not, how? How can you make progress on all of the goals that you set? I will help you with that. I have 3 words, yes, 3 words that I will be sharing with you tomorrow, where it will help you to accomplish and crush all of your set goals, because I believe that you can do it. I believe that you can do it. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow, noon Eastern time, premiering on YouTube. And I got to do a better job of uploading those premieres to other locations. So I'm going to work on that. But tomorrow, noon Eastern time, premiering on YouTube. What are you doing? What's stopping you? What is stopping you? And I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you 3 words that is going to help you crush all of your goals, your dreams, and your desires. All right. We're going to be back live on Tuesday night. Like I said, we have our Scrum night tonight with me and my Tech Barbarians. I will be uploading that video to the Tech Coach Off Patreon in the week, probably like Wednesday-ish, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, so that you can watch it on playback. techcoachoff.dev. Don't hesitate. Sign up today. You can sign up for free, and there is so much value, especially next Saturday, Vibe Code and Chill. We had an amazing show yesterday as well. Go back and watch that. We were working on the coaching portal, how I use Gemini to build apps, and I was using my coaching portal that I'm working on to pretty much in alpha/beta testing with my Tech Barbarians, all of that good stuff. So go check it out, techcoachoff.dev. So much information out there that is going to help you in so many different aspects level up your skills. So check it out, techcoachoff.dev. All right. Okay. So we're going to get into a little bit of an icebreaker, right? And this icebreaker, it's going to sound weird, right? It's going to sound, let me just put it up. It's going to sound weird, but take advantage of people the right way. Yes. What does that mean? What do you mean by taking advantage of people the right way? So let's put it like this. There are people who want to help. And I've also read it, like, so let's take me for example, right? I want to see people win. I love to coach people in the sense of, let's set a goal, let's work towards that goal, let's see what needs to be done, let's see where we're getting stuck. And you won't believe how many times I've come across people where they will say, it's like clockwork. This is what they'll say. They'll say, "Oh, I just didn't want to bombard you. I didn't want to bother you. I didn't want to do this." And I'm like, look, let me be the person, especially if you are actually paying for someone's help, paying to get coached. But even if you're not paying, even if somebody wants to invest their time into you, right? You have to you take advantage of that. Take advantage of people who want to help you, but the right way. So until they push you back a little bit, then continue to ask questions, ask for help, check in. If you have a set amount of time that you're supposed to be spending with that person to get guidance, to get accountability, do it. And I'll tell you this, right? Send more information. Right? If you're supposed to check in every other day, check in every day. And if they don't respond to you, okay, who cares? So what? If they respond to you the day that they said they're going to respond, cool. Do it for your own accountability. And if you get stuck, if you have a problem, let them know. I always tell people that I'm coaching, let me know if you have any problems. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Let me know if you have any problems. If you need help, reach out. If you need help, reach out. And I make it available. To check in so many different ways. It doesn't have to be a video call, a coaching call, whatever. It could be an update in for the people that I coach with one-on-one, right? I have a Slack a Slack thing for them, and I have where it sends out 3 times a week the what they call the daily stand up, daily check, daily scrum, right? And what you end up doing is you answer 3 questions. What did you do yesterday? What do you plan on doing today? Do you have any obstacles? I make it available for people to write me. I have Slack, I have Discord, and the people that I work with one on one, I'm looking for them to let me know if they get stuck, to let me know their progress. And the thing is, there are so many people who want to help. They are like they're open because they want to see you succeed. They have done so much in their life and they want to share the information, but but they do not want to chase you. They will not chase you because they're too busy. If you need help, they will always make the time for you to assist you, but they are not going to chase you because they have their own things that they're working on. So what I tell you is take advantage of people who want to help you, but you got to do it the right way. I'm gonna give you an example, right? Typically, I will with my coaching plan, I will do 2 hours a month, right? But when I see that someone is like they're using the time to actually get work done, to do it for accountability and stuff like that. Some people like they'll put an hour every week on the calendar. I'm like, cool, whatever, because other people aren't taking advantage of their time. So I'm like, all right, cool, because I I do like eh, I don't mind sitting on a call, work helping someone, seeing what they're working on, because they are putting in the work for themselves. They want to win. So I'm like, I want you to win too. And until someone says, until you get some pushback, check in. Let them know. But the thing is, you have to work though, because if someone was just wanted to sit on a call with me to waste time and just listen to each other breathe, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But when we are actually working towards a goal, I see progress, I see effort, I see dedication, I see discipline. I'm like, how can I help you? What more can I do for you? Because I want to see you win. So that's why I'm always pushing people. I'm always making myself available. When I have my booking for like coaching calls, I have a wide range of time to accommodate all time zones, all countries, so that we can work and I can make sure I'm pushing you to go further and further and further. But there are some people who they don't take advantage of that, and they'll say in their mind, "Oh, I didn't want to bother you." Well, I'm telling you, bother me. Because what you think, stop defining. I wish people would stop defining what it means to bother other people. Let someone else tell you that you're bothering them. Stop telling them what you believe that you're doing is bothering them. Let them tell you that you're bothering them. Because so many people want to see you succeed. And it goes for everywhere. There's mentors at work. There's mentors in your personal life. There's coaches, whether you're on a sports team. But but the fact that we will just put into our own mind, oh, I'm gonna do it on my own, and then you don't do it, and then you don't make progress. And now the person who's working with you, they see that you're not making progress, and now they're bothered by it because you're not making progress, and you're also not using them to your advantage because they want to help you, but they're not gonna chase you. They're not gonna beg to help you. I will never beg someone for me to help them. If you want my help, it's here, but I'm not gonna beg you to help to get to help you. It's on you. It's on you. I don't care about people's excuses or nothing like that. If you're stuck and you have someone who's ready, willing, and able to help you, and you don't use that, you don't take advantage of that, that is absolutely your fault. That's your fault. Your failure is your fault. And I was talking about the other day, there's different types of failure, right? True failure is not doing at all what you're supposed to do. Now, if you're trying and you're trying and you're failing, you're trying and you're failing, you're trying and you're failing, that's not failure. Those are just attempts. In the words of David Goggins, those are just attempts. And I love when people actually attempt. if you have to attempt 1,000 times and you get it on 1,001th, I will absolutely celebrate you. However, if you are just making excuses on why you didn't reach out, why you didn't ask for help, why you didn't ask, even when you go to the gym, right? And some people, they will make sure that they lift really, really light weights because they don't want to ask for help. They don't want to have a spotter. They don't want to push it to the limit. And I say, no, go for it. See how far you can push yourself. And when people see how hard you're working and how hard you're pushing, and like you're waking up early, you're going to sleep late, you're studying, you're working out, you're eating right, whatever that goal is, you're doing what you're supposed to do, people will rally around you and they want to help you. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you grow, but they are not going to chase you. I will turn my back. People, because we will go where we can add value. And when we go where we add value, people who need value added into them, who want that value, they're going to reach out. Like, and you can't even imagine how many people have the opportunity to work with people to get help, but they get in their own way. They get into their own mind. It just doesn't, like, it doesn't make sense why we can constantly sabotage ourselves day in and day out. People really, really want to help, but you want, I don't know, maybe you want them to chase you. And I was like, no, we're not chasing you. We've made it. You have it. So if you want to make it, reach your hand up. Let us grab your hand and pull you up with us. But if you say, oh, I didn't want to reach my hand up because I don't want to bother you, well, then you're going to fail. You're going to be left behind. It is so much easier to do things when you have people who have actually made it to where you want to be, willing to help you. And in your mind, you might say, oh, that's taking advantage. Oh, I didn't want to bother you. And for them, they're like, you know what? The bigger bother is watching you fail, watching you succeed. I don't want it. You know what? If you don't want my help to help you win, I don't want to help you at all. Because I have the capability of helping you win. But you wanna keep your distance and stuff like that. You want to try to do it on your own. And I see and I know why you're failing. It's on you. It is absolutely on you. But guess what? Like I say, take advantage of people. There are people who want to be taken advantage of because they want to help you. They want to see you win. And I'm not talking about, oh, they want to make sure you eat and stuff like that. No, they want to help you to grow, to succeed, to get to that next step. And they have the capability of doing it, but I don't want to bother you. Well, by not bothering, you're going to be stuck in the same place. You're going to be stuck going around in circles over and over and over when they're like, it's not a bother. And they'll say that over and over and over again, and you still have in your mind, oh, I didn't want to bother you. Well, why don't you bother them until they tell you, oh, you're bothering me? Why don't you wait until someone tells you that you're bothering them before you start believing that you're bothering them? Get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. And that's my message for you, for everyone out there. Take advantage of people the right way. The people who want to help you, they want to see you succeed, and they're doing all that they can do to help you. Take advantage of that. Embrace them. Embrace their help. Embrace the value that they're willing to pour into your lives. All right, that is my icebreaker for today. All right, so we are going to be getting into our first. Let me make sure that there's nothing I need to address before we get into the show. Yes, okay. Shout out to everyone on Arena. We have Johnson, who started following. We have Printerium that started following on Arena. Shout out to you. We got 13 people watching on Arena. Shout out to everyone on Arena. Thank you. I truly appreciate you. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch and on X and on YouTube as well. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's run it up. Anybody has any questions, please drop it in the chats and I will make sure to answer all of your questions. Quick announcements on not Tuesday, on Wednesday's software explorations, I'm going to be showing how I use Gemini to help me fix some Stripe issues for one of the apps. It's like I'll show you how I prompt it. I can't give you those specific prompts because they were. I can show it to you. I can probably export them, but and put them in a. What I'll do is I'll put them in a Google Doc, and I will put them in a. I'll make them for free available on the Tech Draft Patreon, so you can download it from there. But they are kind of specific to my use case, but you can take a look at them and see how I was able to use them to fix my Stripe. Because I tried to fix the Stripe stuff through Lovable, it didn't go too well. I had to bring them into the IDE, use Gemini like I was doing yesterday, copy and paste what I have, and they gave me the solutions, and now it's working great. So that's gonna be on Tuesday. On Tuesday, not I keep saying Tuesday. It's gonna be on Wednesday, software explorations premiere. So be ready for that. It was some people on X who were asking me. Someone asked if I like about Stripe, and I said, oh, I had used it and had some prompts that I used to help me fix it, and they wanted it. So I said, I'll make a video about it and I'll share the prompts. So I'll be making that available on Wednesday. I keep saying I don't want to keep thinking Tuesday, but on Wednesday I'll make that available. All right. But we are going to jump into looking. So I know we did a video on Spec-Kit. We're going to do a quick recap of what Spec-Kit is, and then we're going to try to use it with Android Studio, which I don't see the commands in there yet, but we'll see what we can do. If Android Studio doesn't work, then maybe we'll take it into VS Code. I don't know. We shall see, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. All right. So let's get our first 20-minute segment up on the clock today.
It's time to
And I'm going to get a sip of water right before we get started. All right. So let's go over to the Git, which I just found out today. I just found out that GitHub made the Spec-Kit. I think I had seen that, but I never put two and two together. But GitHub is actually who made the repo for Spec-Kit toolkit to help you get started with spec-driven development, which is really cool. It fits right into the IDE, so that means it should work really well with VS Code. But basically, Spec-Kit, an effort to allow organizations to focus on product scenarios rather than writing undifferentiated code with the help of spec-driven development. Basically, what's going to happen is it's going to plug into your IDE, which doing my first time usage, I got a real good context. It's going to plug into your IDE. It's going to be using, it can use Kilo, which is interesting. It's interesting that GitHub identified Kilo as a viable coding platform or agent, whatever. I don't even know what they call these, like these code assistants, right? Because Kilo is fairly new from my understanding. We've used it a couple of times on this channel, but basically you can say this is the spec of the it's a better word to say. This is the feature that I want to add is going to do the specs, and then it's going to start to actually use your large language model that you're choosing to implement the features, right? So what I want to do is I want to build out the specs for another feature in the time cost calculator. And then what I also want to do is try to figure out why I'm having some issues in the time cost calculator. So we'll bring up our IDE. We'll run our unit test for time cost calculator. We'll bring up an emulator, run it, see what's going on, and then we will try to fix it depending on how much time we have today. But I do want to get the specs for the new feature written out today, because if we can use if we can use Kilo to add a feature to it, then that reduces our reliance on Devin. So we'll see. We'll try to figure it out. We'll see what happens, right? So, but that's basically what Spec-Kit is. Let's do a quick recap. Spec-driven development. Spec-driven development flips the script on traditional software development. For decades, code has been king. Specifications were just scaffolding we built and discarded once the real work. The code says specifications were just scaffolding we built and discarded once real work of coding began. Spec-driven development changes this. Specifications become executable. So basically, when you have a spec, you say create this spec or implement the spec. then directly generating working implementations rather than just guiding them. All right, so that's the goal. It says getting started, install, specify. So we did that, but the thing is, I don't see it inside of my I don't see it inside of my Android Studio. So we're gonna see if we can get inside of Android Studio. If not, like I said, maybe we'll try in VS Code. So it says so we already went through how to install it the other day. So the Constitution, you do that from your agent, the plan, breakdown into tasks, execute implementation plan. So we took a look at all of that. Let's see. So I wonder if we need to. So we'd have to do a spec init. And then once that is done, then we should get those commands. All right. So let's get started. And shout out to me, Mysify. Shout out to me, Mysify. I'm gonna read that chat as soon as we get to break. But it is a blessing to see you. It's been a while since I haven't seen you, and I'm going to take a look at your comment as soon as we get to break. But shout out to you. So happy to see you. All right, let's go over to the other screen. So here is my Android Studio. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a new branch for now, where I'm going to say, let's see, what am I gonna say? We're gonna go and do, we are gonna do get status and the pub spec. All right, so I'm gonna do get commit pub spec YAML, pub spec YAML M and updated pub spec .yaml file to new version. So I'm just updating the last work that we did, git push. All right, so that's pushed up. And now we're going to create a new branch. Let's do it like this. We're gonna do it, or I'm gonna go to the story that this is for. And I'm gonna go to here, go to the time. All right, so I am inside of the time management software. I'm gonna go to the backlog, and I'm going to say we're gonna work on the smart timer display. All right, so that'd be the next feature that we're gonna add. Right, so I'm gonna go to the board, and I am gonna open this up. And the reason I do this, right, is so that I can continue to build experience, build expertise in the right working process of having your stories, updating your stories, having subtasks. That way it for someone else, the reason that I recommend other people do it, so that especially if you're not in the field yet, it can get you into the habit of how do you work in a business development environment, as opposed to just doing the wild west. You don't have any stories, you don't have any documentation, you don't have any testing. So I like to do things the right way. All right. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna create a branch. And I'm gonna say time cost calculator. And I'm gonna say main branch. All right. And this name is fine. It's a create branch. So now that our branch is created on GitHub, I am going to pull, and I'm going to switch to this branch. Oops. All right, so now we are on the branch, and I want to do, all right, so first I'm going to do the spec in it, right? So we're going to say, according to GitHub, we're going to do specify, see if that's going to work, specify init All right, and we're gonna say time cost calculator. No command found for specify. Okay, that's interesting because I know we installed it the other day, so maybe we have to install it again. Let me see. So if we do the install once and use everywhere, if I do this, for those who didn't see the other video, I guess you'll see it here. So we're using UV, which I had to install UV the other day. So specify CLI is installed, and it says to use install tools, run this command or UV update shell. Let me copy this in case I need it. Let's see. I don't know where that thing came from. Right. Oh, all right. So something's wrong. Let's see. Control. Something's not right. Control Z. All right. Let's try that again. Okay, so now let's do the UV. Restart your shell to apply the changes. All right, so let's say we close all these. And now we open up a new terminal. All right, specify init, and then specify init, and then project name, time, cost, calculator. And let's say we're going to be using kilo code, sh. And optional command that you can use for your specs, analyze, cross artifact. So ask structured questions to de-risk ambiguous areas before planning. Let's see. Start using slash commands with your AI agent. All right, so I didn't read that. So I didn't read that the other day, right? So slash, so start using the slash. So if we go here and we say, see, I don't see the constitution though. I see it installed. Some agents may serve credentials. Let's see here. We have, I don't know why it's not showing there though. It should show up. It should show up over here. Done. Let me close it and reopen it just to be on the safe side. If not, then I will try it in a different project. What's the name of this one? Android. All right, so let me open up the time cost calculator again. Let's see. I don't see, because if I open up, let me see if I open up VS Code. Because highly possible that it's not available in Android Studio. So inside of VS Code, if I go to Kilo Code, I don't see it here. Let's see why we don't see it there. Let me go over here real quick. See, I don't see. Let me try. I remember I saw it in. So if I was to do specify, go back over here. Specify check. It says Gemini CLI is available, but the Kilo Code IDE is not available. Why is that? But the specify CLI is ready to use. Let's see. So if I was to do specify help, specify dash dash help, there's only two things that there's only two things. Okay, so there's only two of those. So that means we go back over here. Let's see. When I do, so I would say when I do specify check, the Kilo ID is not being found. Oh, spelled it wrong. Specify check for specify kit. Let's see. When the specify command fails for Kilo, it generally means there's a problem with installation or configuration of your Kilo code ID extension. Here's a troubleshooting to ensure specify kit can find the Kilo ID. Restart your IDE. A simple restart of Visual Studios or Cursor. It says check the extension tab. Search for Kilo code and I mean I see it's enabled. It's not those. Why does it say it's not found? So let me try to install again. All right, so let's go back to the documentation. Specify init my project. So if we try this now. So specify init time cost calculator. And we're going to say AI Kilo code. It already exists. Please use a different project. Let me see, ls. So inside of here, we have cd. So there's nothing in there though. That should be RM. RM time cost calculator. What? Oh. Make it to delete the folder. And cd.dot. All right, so we have, all right, so let's try the init again then. I'm gonna see if I can do it without the folder name inside of this right here. Template files will be merged with existing content and may overwrite existing files. Well, we're on a different branch, so let's go with yes.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
And we're gonna be using the sh, yes. And it says that some agents may need store credentials. Consider, I already did that. But everything was installed for Kilo Code. Okay. So we'll keep looking at that when we get back from break. I'm not really sure what is going on with this thing. I should have, and it might just be the, let me see, project specific Kilo Code mode. Let me see, slash. I don't see it yet. So we'll keep looking for it when we get back. You know, maybe I'll open up VS Code as well to take a look for it, but I don't see it yet. I don't see it yet. So we'll figure it out. We shall figure it out. But for now, we are going to go to our very, very first break. Shout out to all the 15 people who are watching on Arena. Let me check the comments really, really quick. I got my guy, Me Mysify, in the building. So good to see you, Me Mysify. Says, good afternoon, sir. Long time no see. Still struggling mentally and don't like to bring negative energy with me. Hence the lack of content. I hear you, and we are praying for you, and we miss you as well, Me Mysify. So, and Me Mysify, you got to come back. You got to come back because it took me a very, very long time to learn how to pronounce your name, and now I haven't been able to see it, and I don't want to forget. Right? It's kind of like Favor. I learned how to say Favor's name, then I don't see Favor for a while, and then I'm like, all right, I don't remember anymore. So hopefully we get to see you very, very soon. Looking forward to more content and looking forward to you feeling better overall. Just want you to take care of yourself, Me Matsufai. Shout out to you. All right, we are going to get into a topic, right? Before we get into that topic, I want to go get something stronger, something stronger to drink. All right, so I will be back in just a second. I'm gonna put up this. Let me put this up real quick. Let's go with. Let's go with this one. I'm going to go with this. I will be back in just a second. All right.
Hello, I'm Samantha from Resume Flow, and I think it's time we had some real talk about what you're going through. I can only imagine how painful this experience must be for you right now. You were sold a dream, guaranteed high-paying job, career transformation, financial freedom. So you invested thousands of dollars, maybe even went into debt, trusting that this boot camp would change your life. They gave you what they called an expertly crafted resume, promised you were job ready, and sent you off into the world with confidence. But then reality hit, didn't it? The job market didn't welcome you with open arms like they promised. The interviews weren't flowing in. And when you went back to them for help, what did they tell you? Oh, you just need to apply to more jobs. Try 3,984 applications with that amazing resume we gave you. And maybe, just maybe, you'll qualify for a refund. Let me be clear about something. That's not your failure. That's their system failing you. The truth is, most bootcamp resumes are generic templates that don't actually showcase your unique value or speak the language that hiring managers want to hear. They're not optimized for applicant tracking systems. They don't tell your story effectively. And they certainly don't position you as the solution to an employer's specific problems. But here's what I want you to know. Hope is not lost. Not even close. I want to offer you something different. Something real. Let Resume Flow take that fantastic resume your bootcamp provided and actually make it work for you. Our AI will analyze it against real job descriptions, showing you exactly where the gaps are and how to fix them. We'll help you save and track the jobs that actually make sense for your background, not just any job with a pulse.
I am back. Sounds like Samantha be throwing shade at those. Sounds like Samantha be throwing shade at those boot camps. An AI after my own heart. I'm just saying. All right, check the chat really quick. We got my guy Junior in the building. Says, "What's up? What's up? What's up, family? What's up with you, Junior? Always a pleasure and a blessing to have you here. And thank you so much for that feedback on the app. This show is half dedicated to what you found because I do have some things I want to fix on that app as well. But shout out to my guy Junior." And over on the arena side of things, we have let's see, we have Tutul 9000 who started following. Thank you so much. And Tone started following. Shout out to Tone. And Tone hit me with bought two tickets. Two tickets. Thank you so much for buying those tickets, Tone.
Money.
Go with them. And we have Arena King also who started following. Thank you so much, Arena King. All right, we're going to be getting into our first break time topic for today, which is something that I wanted to cover on Thursday, but we didn't get to. We are going to be talking about, let me get this off. We're going to be talking about 5 ways to build leadership skills in less than 30 minutes per day. This was brought to us by Forbes. I wanted to read it with you guys because I think that whether you want to be in leadership or not, having good leadership skills is still very important. Because guess what? I'll tell you this. Leadership isn't only about at work. It's about with your friend group, with your family. If you end up in a situation like I found myself being the assistant coach for my kids' pre-T-ball team and knowing how to help, contribute, lead, rally the troops, very important. So I wanted to read this article with you to find out what their suggestions are, the 5 ways to build leadership skills in less than 30 minutes a day, right? So let me throw up 5 minutes on the clock and we're going to jump into this together. We're going to read, see what it is that they're talking about. All right, so 5 ways to build leadership skills in less than 30 minutes a day by Rachel Wells. This was published September 19th, 2025. All right, let's see. Let's see. It says you don't need to have all the time in the world to grow and develop yourself professionally or to be ready for leadership and management promotions. Like I just said, right? It says, in fact, you likely don't have all the time in the world anyways. You're busy juggling several responsibilities in your personal life, your family, and at work, and upskilling takes significant time. Or, or does it? Let's find out. It says, if you're hoping to secure a promotion at the end of this year or next year, or simply want to equip yourself with leadership skills so you can be best prepared for future of work in AI, there are several ways you can achieve this goal without spending hours each week studying a degree or expensive university certificate program. For me, it's me being here, learning how to be a better communicator, seeing ways I can add value to your lives, bring to the forefront new technologies, new strategies. That is one of the ways that I use, which that can have like many different ways, but that's one of the ways that I build my leadership skills. All right, it says, although those are certainly helpful, there are loads of budget friendly, less time consuming options so you can upskill without the financial or time constraint burden. How to upskill in less than 30 minutes per day. All right, so you guys take notes on this part.
Message.
Here's how you can get in your 30 minutes or less of upskilling so you can develop a growth mindset each day, contribute more meaningfully to your work, and raise your income potential and exposure to lucrative career opportunities with leadership skills, right? Number 1, listen to podcasts. That is certainly true. There are some really, really good podcasts out there about growth mindset, about business mindset, about life mindset. And there's a variety. There, there's a variety which will help you on a business wise. And then there are others that will help you on like personal mindset growth, motivation, discipline, doing what you're supposed to do. So that, you know what? So we're going to here's what I'm going to do, right? I am going to go to, and I'll show you how you can use the coaching portal that I'm building. Let's see, preview. And one of the reasons that I will make it accessible to more people is because I don't want you to start putting like to really start using it and then I start losing information because I am building it. So I don't want to start like just losing valuable information like that. So I am going to say add goal for the momentum builder, right? Let's say listen to, and this is like it's a quick task, although it's more than 15 minutes, right? But let's say I will say daily for this one. So I'm gonna as I'm reading through this article, I'm going to add those 30-minute builders here, right? So listen to leadership podcast. All right, and we're gonna say recurring, and we'll do this one for Monday through Friday, right? So maybe 30 minutes while you're setting up your day for work, you're listening to that leadership podcast, right? So while you're checking your emails and stuff, you're listening to that leadership podcast, right? So we have that. Next up, they say that follow industry publications and writers. Subscribe to and follow writers and thought leaders in your industry on leading publications right here on Forbes, the Wall Street Journal, and Bloomberg, as well as industry-specific publications like Adweek, The Drum, etc. for marketing as an example, right? So, and that could be following people on X, could be looking for, like for example, if you're in QA, I forgot what is the name of that, like the testing ministry or something like that. So let's say we go here and we say we add a goal. I need to do, it's like when we do the one-time goal, I need to add a feature that says you can choose
Move on,
what
back to
day.
work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
You can choose what day you want that particular goal to be applicable to, but let's say let's do this. We can do a recurring goal. Let's say we do this on Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday, and we're gonna say read read one of the publications for the industry that you are in, right? So let's do that. We can always rename it later. And that's going to be, we'll do that. That's another quick task. It doesn't have to be that long of a publication. And then let's continue with this article. Customize your socials. All right. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Customize your LinkedIn feed and notifications by strategically connecting with industry experts, adding them to your network, and tapping the bell on their profile so you can get notified as soon as they post. Interesting. Let's say we do a one-time goal. Follow some industry experts and be notified on their posts. That's another quick task. And let me refresh it so it can show up. That's another. See, if I had remembered yesterday, I would have fixed that. And during our session, I would have put that into Gemini. When I add something new to the momentum, for it to automatically show up instead of having to refresh. But I didn't even remember that yesterday. I should make a list of the things that we need to fix. All right, next up, we're gonna go here. And it says tailor your Google feed, customize your Google feed, particularly the Discover page, by following specific websites that are leading in your field that offer practical advice and tips. You can also select topics you're interested in. For example, AI tech and entrepreneurship, and Google will update your feeds and push notifications regularly with relevant experts and news on these topics. This reduces you from scrolling and browsing the web or social media endlessly and getting caught up in the content that doesn't serve you or your career or personal growth. That is a good one. See, I need to update this to say, because I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this today. And if I don't have it today, it might not show up for tomorrow. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to add this one yet, because I'm going to add that feature maybe tonight where I can say what day I want to do a particular task. But last one, it says the average person spends more than 2 hours scrolling through social media. That's regardless of how busy that they are. That is a fact. That is a fact. So if you can customize your social media feed and connections, that makes your time online worthwhile and profitable. This strategic move already contributes half an hour or however long you spend on social media to your personal growth plan to develop leadership skills. And then lastly, use book summary apps. Another way you can learn and develop leadership skills when you have limited time is to use apps like Headway or Blinkist, which provide AI-powered book summaries so you can understand key book concepts in a form that is digestible digestible nuggets, and implement them through your workday. These books range in topics from productivity to tech to communications to business growth. You don't need more time. You just need to leverage the time you already have through inexpensive resources like the ones listed above, networking and swapping out doom scrolling time for upskilling so you can proactively equip yourself with essential leadership skills, align yourself for a promotion, and be ready for what lies ahead. And that's it. Shout out to Rachel Wells, who posted this amazing 5 ways to build leadership skills in less than 30 minutes a day. Let's get it. All right. We're going to get back to work, though. We are going to get back to work. Let me see. Before we do that, shout out to Avex L, who started following on Arena. Shout out to Rizzo the Boss. The Meta office is alive, who started following as well. And SK Nabo on Arena. Shout out to you for following. And thank you to the 78 people on Arena. Can you believe that we have 78 people watching on Arena? Thank you so much for tuning in. So thank you so much for allowing me to add just a little bit of tech value into your lives. Let's go. Let's go. We are the best.
We the best.
All right. We are going to jump into the next part of the show where we are going to, all right, so we're going to try to figure out why this stuff is not working for us, right? So let's go over here. I'm going to put up another 20 minutes.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. So I don't see the command, but let me see. I don't know why I don't see it. Let me see if I close this out all the way. Because here is, what is this? This is VS Code, right? If I go to Kilo, and I go to open, let's close this project out all the way, right? Close folder. All right, so let's do open, and we're gonna go to Android or Studio, maybe Studio projects, and we go to this one, open. Yes, I trust. And if I was to go to slash, or go to Kilo. Okay, so there goes the Constitution. So the Constitution is it's in VS Code. So maybe this is mainly working in VS Code right now. Fair enough. All right, so we'll try it in VS Code. Let me see. So we are on the right branch over here, and we will do, all right, so let's say, all right, so let's try this. We're gonna try to get a little creative, right? Because you guys know how I like to use Gemini. I like to use the AI to work with the AI, put it in the right language and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go over to here, and I'm gonna say, I am using GitHub's Spec-Kit repo to do spec-driven development, right? So there's a little bit of insight to how I use AI, right? So I'm using Gemini to use the AI in Spec-Kit so that we can have a good feature. To build out a new specification for the time cost calculator app that is in both the Google Play and Apple App Store. And I'm going to give a little bit of detail, which calculates the value of someone's time based on the total income they bring in per year and divided by the total amount of hours in a year, right? So that's basically how it works. I want to create a constitution for the project so that we can have some nice coding standards. Or maybe not coding standards, but whatever. Let's go with that. Let's see. All right, so constitution. Of course, all right, so let's see. Establishing a constitution is a great way to ensure ensure consistency and quality as your project grows. I'll create a constitution MD file for your time cost calculator. So I could get this constitution, right? But if I want to use where are you? If I want to use the slash constitution, which would be create or update project governing doc. So how would you create this constitution, right? Let me see where they used it to get started. So over here they had Constitution create principles focused on quality. So I'm gonna say, could I just get the prompt that I would use with Spec-Kit with the /constitution? I'm just curious to see what it would give me. I want to see it. I want to see it created with Spec-Kit. So it can generate the constitution for me. Let's see what happens. Close this out. Because I want to get better at Spec-Kit to see what's happening. All right, so of course, based on the document we've created, here's a well-defined prompt you could use with Spec-Kit's constitution command. So constitution, create a project constitution for the time cost calculator mobile app. The constitution should establish guiding principles and standards for a spec-driven development process. It must include the following articles. Okay, core principles covering user-centric simplicity, specification guidelines, detailing. Okay, cool, perfect. So let's copy this right here. And I'm going to go over here. And I am going to say /constitution.md. And I'm going to paste that, right? And instead of using Claude 3, I'm going to go and say, maybe we'll use, should I use Claude? I think I'm going to use, hold on. I think I'm going to use let's go with Gemini. Google Gemini. And model, let's use 2.5 Pro. I do really well with Pro, right? And we're gonna say save that, done. And we're gonna say create. So send the message. Let's see how that does. Let's see if our constitution gets created. And it's on its way. Close this down too. What is it saying? Hold on. I will create a project constitution. First, I'll check the existence of this .specify memory and constitution file within it. I will also check for other relevance. Finally, I'll provide. Is it just saying the same thing over and over again? Whew. That does not look good. Why is it doing that? So let's stop that because that's crazy. Terminate. And all right, let's try this again. So let's do the terminal specify init dot template files will be merged with existing content may over. Yes, let's do that. And we're going to be using kilocode sh. Yes. All right. So let's do specify, and we're going to say check. And it keeps saying kilocode is not found. Kilocode ID. So let me go check kilocode real quick. Let's go over here. Kilocode.ai. Install kilocode in 100. What is this? What is this? This is a YouTube video. Install kilocode, JetBrains, cursor, VS Code. I know we have it installed though. GitHub CLI available. Let's see. I know I have it here. So why is it saying not found? Maybe it's that path thing. It might be the, I don't think so because we did that. All right, so let's go to, all right, I'm gonna open up a terminal window. Let's go to, and I'm gonna install this again because I feel like something is missing. So we copy this, we do that. Installed, all right. And, oh, wait. Install, wait, that's right. Install once used everywhere. And then specify check. So let's go over to here. When I install Spec-Kit, Spec-Kit for Kilo Code IDE, it is telling me that Kilo Code IDE is not found. Let's do that. Let me also try specify init. Yes. And let's try doing it for GitHub Copilot, Gemini CLI, Cloud Code, Open Code, Coda. I don't see it. Let's say we do GitHub Copilot. And then we do specify check. See, none of these are showing that it's found for. All right, so let's see what Gemini says. It appears there might be a misunderstanding with Kilo Code and Spec-Kit and how they work together. The error message is a key indicator that Kilo Code is not a standalone integrated device. Okay, that's fair. Instead, Kilo Code is, all right, got that. On the other hand, Spec-Kit is an open source. We got that. The Kilo Code ID not found error. You are seeing this error because you're likely trying to install Spec-Kit in a way that assumes Kilo Code ID is a distinct application. Since there, okay, that's fair. Install and set up your IDE and Kilo Code. We have that. Open VS Code. We got that. Install. We did that. After installation, you need to follow the on-screen instructions to set. We did that. Install Spec-Kit. It's not necessarily the command they gave us, but fair enough. Define a specification. Define a specification. I mean, that we have that. We could install it via npm, but I'm looking at the documentation here. When we do see, I just go to the Kilo Code repo. Let me see, and it's Kilo Code. We did that. PowerShell. Initialize project in the current directory instead of creating a new one. Huh, let's try that. Instead of using dot. Let's see, 'cause I don't know. I feel something is missing. Let's say we do here. Its current directory is not empty, 25 items. Let's say that. And we do that one, that one. You're already in the project directory. Start using your / command with the AI agent. All right, hold on. Some agents, okay. Consider adding to the git ignore, fair. Select agent Kilo Code, okay. Initialize Git repository, existing repository detected. Seems like it's fine. So, but when you do kilo check or specify check, it says it's not found. Let's look on this page. Let's go to here. If I search for not found, let's go to the GitHub issues. Let's see what's under GitHub issues. So what if we search for not found? So this one says Claude code not found, which is similar to what we have. See, all these say not found. But they didn't really have any documentation around it. So Visual Studio Code is available for this person, but why isn't it available for us? Let's see. Gemini fails to recognize commands after Spec-Kit initialization. So let's pivot a little bit, right? Let's pivot a little bit. How could, all right, so let's say how to use, or I'll just use Gemini for this. How can I start using the Gemini CLI? So, and I'm gonna do a video on this, like a software exploration video on Gemini CLI. I think we're still good. Let's see. The video is live, but you're frozen. Let me see. Let me know if I'm back. Let me know if I'm back. All right, awesome. Crazy things, I tell you. All right, we're good. We are back. All right. Shout out to the 102 people who are watching on Arena as well. Okay, so let's see. I don't know if this is accurate because I have Gemini. I installed Gemini CLI. And I know the person from Google how to use Gemini CLI.
Lunch break.
So we have so we just type in Gemini. All right, before we go to break, let me just try this real quick. Where is my, so if I just do Gemini, oh, look at that. Gemini CLI. Log in with Google. Waiting for authorization. I thought I just authorized it. And yeah, Gemini Pro in the building. I don't know what else we got to do. Type your message. Oh, okay. Gemini CLI update available. Installed via homebrew. Please do brew upgrade. So if we do, can I do exit? Uh-oh. How do I exit out of this? Okay. Press Control C to exit. Okay, that's interesting. If I do brew update, can I do brew update Gemini CLI? Brew update. Oh, upgrade. Let's do that. No available formula. Did you mean, let's try that. Sweet. All right, so we're going to pivot when we come back. Instead of trying it with VS Code or Android Studio, we're going to try it with Gemini CLI. So we get to do a learning experience of Gemini CLI and see if we can use it with Spec-Kit. So is what it is. All right. Let me check the chat. Happy that we are back and we didn't lose connection. Shout out to my guy Junior, who is always here to help me, making sure that we are good. Shout out to my guy Junior. And shout out to everyone watching on Arena. So on Arena's side of the game, we have Sonia, who started following. Shout out to Sonia. Mark 007, Agent Mark 007, who started following. Shout out to you as well. And somebody without a name started following. And shout out to all of the 102 people who are watching on Arena. Shout out to y'all.
We the best.
We are the best. Okay. Let's see. Let's get to our second break time topic, which is going to be about LinkedIn's co-founder. Yes, LinkedIn. What did the LinkedIn co-founder said? The LinkedIn co-founder said work-life balance is a red flag.
How dare you?
All right, so let's figure out what's going on here. So let me switch over here. Throw up 5 minutes on the clock for this one. So LinkedIn's co-founder Reid Hoffman says seeking work-life balance is a red flag that you're not committed to winning. What?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
All right, drop me in the comments. Do you agree, without even reading the article yet, is seeking work-life balance a red flag that you're not committed to winning? If you go into an interview, are you going to be asking about work-life balance? Me, I personally have no idea what work-life balance is, because whether I'm at work, whether I'm at home, I'm always working, whether it's on my personal stuff or whether it is on work stuff, right? I'll do a whole live stream to figure out how to do something at work, you know? All right, so it says, all right, let's go to, and this is brought to us by Yahoo Finance, courtesy of Fortune magazine. Yes. All right, so real quick, let's see. Reid Hoffman, the visionary behind LinkedIn, is not a believer in work-life balance for serious startup entrepreneurs. With the exception of one nightly ritual, he expected employees to constantly be working. Says the LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman has a reality check for entrepreneurs. If you're serious about starting a company, you should say goodbye to binge watching your favorite Netflix show after dinner or sleeping in on the weekends. You need to be on the work grind all hours of the day. There are 24 hours in the day. How are you going to use your 24 hours? That is a fair question. How do you plan to use your 24 hours in a day? Right? If I ever heard a founder talking about, this is how I have a balanced life, they're not committed to winning. Bruh. Hoffman told Stanford University's How to Start a Startup class in 2014. The only really great founders are the ones who are like, I'm going to put literally it's like, oh my God, I need work-life balance because my mental health, and I just want to go out and watch a show on Netflix and have a great time, which is totally fair. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are not reaching the heights that you want to reach, or if you are building your own business, then your own business is a 24-hour job. It's a 24-hour job, right? It says, and even after the pandemic, when Americans realized that the constant work grind was hurting their mental health, his opinions they have not changed.
They ain't believing us.
You are by nature dead as a startup, he said late last year on the Diary of a CEO podcast. Work-life balance is not the startup game. It's not the startup game. Startups can't afford to take time off from working except for this one daily ritual, Hoffman says. Even though 1/3 of employees in LinkedIn's early days had children, taking time off wasn't an option with the exception of dinner at home. Go home for dinner, right? When we started LinkedIn, we started with people who had families. So we said, sure, go home and have dinner with your family. Then after dinner with your family, open up your laptop and get your back in the shared work experience and keep on working, keep on grind. Okay, would you do it? If you were part of the LinkedIn startup, right? When they were like just a few employees, would you go home, have dinner with your family, and then get back to work after dinner? The question is, what is your desire to win? And here's like, if you're part of a startup, right? And you're concerned about, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, my family this, my family that, maybe you should just get a 9-to-5. Because as we read the other day, people who were part of the Klarna startup, when they were starting up, they turned into millionaires. When the Klarna IPO went through, they made so many different millionaires. But do you think that in the early days of Klarna, that there were people who had work-life balance? Because as part of a startup, you're wearing many different hats.
Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
You are wearing many different hats. You can be the product owner, you can be the developer, you could be the QA person, you could be the CEO, all in one hat, all at one time, right? It says, while that may sound brutal in today's culture, it was even worse when Hoffman was helping to found PayPal. There, dinner was served at the office. What? And I'll tell you this. I heard stories about the company that I work for, their early days. It was the same thing. It was the same thing. I don't think there's a startup that is different. Because when you are using your own money to start your company and you have investors who are believing in you and you just have to keep on getting that money, you have to have all hands in, right? The people that think that's toxic don't understand the startup game, and they're just wrong. He said they are wrong. The game is intense, and by the way, if you don't do that, eventually you're out of a job. For those who disagree, working at a startup is a choice, Hoffman said, 100%. And for me personally, I don't see anything wrong with working at a startup. If you want to have the opportunity to learn, to grow, there's so many people who are new to the game, and they're like, oh, if you knew how many times that people come to me, right, and they say, oh, I want to get in tech, but I want it to be remote. I'm like, and they have absolutely zero experience. It's not going to work out that way. It is not going to work out that way. When you want to join an industry and you have no experience, you have to give everything, all of you, to that industry, to that company, so that they can trust you, they can believe in you, and they can give you opportunity to grow. But if you're going to come into an industry thinking that, oh, it's going to be so easy, these boot camps, these tech boot camps, that's how they get you. They have you believing it's going to be so easy. You could work remote. You pay them $10,000 and then you can't get one job. Like Samantha was saying earlier, you apply to 5,000 jobs and you don't even get one callback because I want to work remote and I want it to be easy. I want to work 9 to 5 and I want to go and play at the park with my kids. But I want to do it for a startup. Because the big companies, they're not even looking at you. The startups might give you a chance, but you have to give it all. You have to give it all to them. But then when you do, 10 years down the road, when they IPO, you might become a millionaire. If you don't become a millionaire, at least you'll have an experience to go work for one of those bigger companies where you might get some work-life balance. But the reward on the other side is second to none. The 100 or so first employees at LinkedIn don't need to work anymore. like I was just saying, Microsoft purchased a professional networking platform for $26.2 billion. Yes, $billion. Right? In 2016. Fortune has contacted Huffman for comment. Says, as a leader, the pain must be embraced if you want to find success. That's a fact. Early mornings, late nights. Sometimes your nutrition, your health takes a hit because you are giving everything to winning. When you look at somebody like David Goggins, broken knees, broken feet, he's a warrior. If you want to work for a startup, if you want to win at anything, you have to have a warrior mentality, a warrior mindset. You have to give it all. If you want to win it all, you have to give it all. Simple as that. Simple as that. There are no days off. Hoffman's words resonate with leaders across all parts of the tech industry who sometimes have to substitute work-life balance to overcome challenges. There is no work-life balance. Take VSCO, for example. Founded in 2011, the social media company rode a wave of popularity after the VSCO girl trend and was later valued at $550 million. Good Lord. However, when Eric Whitman took over as the CEO in 2023, the photo app was trying to shake off its image as being just a fad. Under Whitman's leadership, the company finally turned a profit in 2024, and he recently told Fortune that accepting there will be stress and long nights in that process is key. And you have to have a conversation with your employees. Like, look, this is what it's gonna be. Do you want to join us or not? And I think that startups, when they're hiring and bringing people on, they have to set realistic expectations. Like, look, you're gonna be wearing many hats. We're gonna have late nights, early mornings. We can try to accommodate things that you need to do, but there's no balance. There will be no balance. What is balance? What is balance at the end of the day, right? What is balance? Because something's gonna suffer. Something is always gonna suffer, and it's how badly do you want to win, right? Says there's a lot of pain along that journey. He said you got to embrace it. He says that the need to grind extra hours extends to the staff because success doesn't come from just the top. Yup, agreed. All the people I've invested in, they get what it takes to be modest overachievers, embrace the grit, work together with a bunch of other really great like-minded people, and are just willing to grind their way through to find those wins and to grow that into something that is increasingly successful. And think about it like this, right? When LinkedIn got started, whatever year that was, the first 100 people that was working there, and I'm pretty sure they had stock options and everything like that. When Microsoft bought them from $26.2 billion, they never had to work a day in their lives. But they had, like, for however long that was, they had long hours to work. They had early mornings, critical issues. They probably had times that they thought LinkedIn was going to go out of business, and they just worked. They invested so much of their time for probably a modest salary, but maybe 10 years later, cha-ching, right? So it's a part of the game. But I'll say it on the other side, right? If you do not want to be part of the game, if you don't want to be part of that, investing your time now into a company, and hopefully, because it might not work out, but they might get bought out, you can make a lot of money. If you don't want to be, if you don't want to be part of that game, you cannot complain when you just keep your same old job where you're making a modest amount and you don't elevate. You don't you might be in the same spot forever, and that is your choice to make. All right? Because when you distill it all down to those generally the attributes that I've seen where you're creating a successful company or a successful product, there it is. So it is what it is. Junior says, work-life balance? What is that? That is a great question, Junior. I have absolutely no idea, Junior, what that is. All right. So shout out to 18 years who just started following on Arena. We got 107 people watching on Arena. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I truly, truly appreciate all of you.
I appreciate you.
All right, we are going to do one last segment where we're going to be trying to navigate through the Gemini CLI, all right? So we're going to go to here.
It's time to do.
All right, so we're going to do, I'm going to navigate locally to studio, and we're going to say time cost calculator. We're going to say specify init here. Yes. And we're going to say, let's use the Gemini CLI. And we will say sh. And let's do specify check. And it says Gemini CLI is available. So we'll do that. And we're going to say, how did we get into Gemini CLI last time? Gemini. Loaded credentials. And if I was to do specify, oh, ooh, look at that. So let's do constitution. Oh, let's do constitution. And now I'm going to copy the constitution that I got from the prompt that I got from Gemini. Where did I have that? All right, let's go here, and I'm going to copy that constitution. And I'm going to paste that in here. And let's see what it gives us. Make sure we got everything. All right, let's see what happens using the Gemini CLI. Okay, delivering the draft, constructing the content. Let's see. First, last amended. So I guess it did create something, but I wasn't able to see it. Let's see. Apply, change, last amended. Let's go with 1 for now. I guess it did it, but it was going crazy in VS Code, so. Frozen again? Nope. All right, there we go. All right, so waiting for user I thought I said, all right, let's do that again. All right, let's see. So we have the Constitution. I love the plan template. Now I'll update the Constitution. All right, let's do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to Android Studio. Close out VS Code. Android Studio. And inside of Android Studio, I should be able to see the Constitution. So if we go to specify templates, Constitution. Let's close that out. So we have our Constitution here. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess it started, but it was so weird in the application. And I still don't have it here. Oh, now it's there. It's so weird. Well, no, maybe that's that. Oh, I think I know what's happening. So now it's back over here because I don't know. It's so weird. Anyways, whatever. Let's go to, all right. So next up, we want to, let's go back to Spec-Kit. let's go back to here. And if we, all right, so first we do the Constitution. Next, we're going to do specify to build an application that can help me. All right, so what I'm going to say is the feature that we want to implement is the smart timer integration with cost display. So if we were to do that, say specify describe what you want to build, use the plan to provide your technical stack. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy this. And I'm gonna ask Gemini can you give me a prompt for the specify command that would create the spec for this user story. So let's see what specify command that we can get. And by doing it this way, right? By doing it this way in Gemini, it's going to help you formulate how your prompts should be when feeding it into these different applications. This is a perfect use case for a specify command. You want to translate your user story with clear acceptance criteria and technical note in the form of specification. Here's a well-structured prompt for Spec-Kit that captures that. Specify draft a technical specification for a new focus timers feature. The core objective is to allow users to track the time for activities while seeing the monetary cost in real time. The specification should be based on the following user story. As a user, I want to use timers that show real-time cost of monetary value of my time during activities. Key features to detail, timer modes, includes preset Pomodoro, and a custom timer where your user can define any duration. So that means you could do a Pomodoro, or you can do like a deep work where you set like two straight hours of work or 4 straight hours of work, undistracted. Real-time calculations, session tracking and summary, history and statistics. Let's see. So basically copy all of this over here. And if I bring that back into, let's see if this is gonna, let's keep it in Gemini for now, right? Let's say we do specify, and I drop in these features and I say enter. So allow execution of create new feature.sh. Let's do, so I guess the create new feature.sh comes from yes, from specify scripts bash create new feature. All right, it looks good to me. Let's do that. Oh, let me switch screens. Ha. All right, cool. Oh shoot, let me take this off too. Let's see, writing to specs. Let's see, let's say allow. All right, let's see what this says. Let's see, I have the branch named and the spec file path. Switch to a new branch 001 draft the technical. Using the template. System must log all completed timer sessions in a history section. Each entry in this history must include date. All right. Example of marking unclear requirements. Need clarification. Auth method not specified. Email. There's no login right now. Timer sessions. So the specification is ready. Okay. For reviewing, you can now proceed with the plan command. All right, so let's take a look at the specifications then. It is located specs. All right, quick guidelines, focus on what users need and why, avoid how to implement. Written for business stakeholders, not developers. Section requirements, mandatory sections must be completed for every feature. Optional sections include only what's relevant to the feature. When a section doesn't apply, remove it entirely. Do not leave as NA for AI generation. When creating a spec from a user input, mark all ambiguous. Okay, there we go. User scenarios and testing. Primary user story. As a user, I want to use timers. Okay, we got all that. Given a user has set their hourly rate when they start a Pomodoro timer. Edge cases, requirements. We have all these requirements. I'm not gonna read through every single thing. Cool. So next up, we are gonna go to. It says the specification is ready for review and planning. You can now proceed with /plan. So let's do that. Execute the implementation planning workflow using the plan. Let's see what happens with that then. Implementing all right, so setup plan. All right, so basically what's happening is inside of the specify, it has different scripts that it's running, which is, you know, what we can do, maybe not today's show, but what we can do, we can actually go into breaking down how. Because if we could actually understand how Spec-Kit is working, so we can go and read through the code of the, like when you call for constitution, what's the sh that it's executing when you go, and that means for Windows there's a PowerShell command that it's executing as well. But you go and look at, okay, what's inside of the setup plan, what's inside of the create feature, what's inside of the constitution, right? And that way we can get even better understanding. And by having that background knowledge, it's going to make us make our use of it even stronger, right? But just by looking at this, it helps us. It helps tremendously. So let's say yes. And planning the execution workflow, reviewing file paths. The specification has unresolved questions. Let's see what that is. Got to the file paths, now checking the feature spec for clarification. The specification has unresolved questions, need clarification. What is the acceptable data loss window? Save progress every. To avoid rework, please run the clarify command to resolve this ambiguity. So let's say clarify. Clarify says identify unspecified areas in the current feature. All right, so if we do clarify and we says what save progress, let's say we do save progress every minute. All right, let's say that. Let's see what happens. Let's see here. Check prereqs. All right, let's say yes. But that's why I always say, by actually using these features, by using these tools, it is going to add so much more understanding, so much more clarification, because now we have a whole new idea, a whole new show and what to look into, and how to get a better understanding of these tools, you know. All right, let's see. Primary user. All right, okay. User wants progress every minute saved. I'll update the spec clarification section with Q&A, revise edge cases to match needs clarification tag, and I'll update the checklist, and I'll report completion. Let's see. Let's say yes. Let's see. Let's say yes again. So it looks like the specs wasn't completely done. Scope is clearly bounded. All right, let's say yes. Okay, so because there was something that needed clarification, we had to do the clarify, and then now that we do the clarify, now we can go and do the plan, I guess. No command substitute. Model stream ended with invalid chunk or missing finish reason. Let's see. I'll create this. I messed up. Use echo incorrectly. I'll just output the text. No command substitution. All right, let's try plan again. Right. I don't know what that means. Why did they what? Try to tell a joke. All right. So now we're gonna do setup plan. Let's say yes. So now it's taking a look at so now it's reading the spec file, the constitution file, and it's reading the implementation plan. I don't remember seeing a plan. And it says apply this change. I'm creating a plan. Summary will cover the focus timers feature, Pomodoro, real-time cost, all this stuff that we spoke about. I'll define the timer session in data model.md and create a quick start MD. No API contracts are needed. Finally, I'll outline the task. All right, let's say yes. And let's see what it says. Okay, I'm updating the project structure in option 3 to option 3 for this mobile project, removing other options and revising the structure decision. Let's say yes, let's allow that. Google search, which I think we have local storage already, but whatever. I like the fact that it does all the searching for you as well. That's pretty cool. All right. Write file. Confirming implementation details. Apply this change. Phase 1. Okay, phase 1, design and contracts. I'm creating a data model and quick start. No contracts needed. Starting with data model. All right, let's do that. Let's see. Let's write that file. Phase 0 and phase 1 are done. I'm updating the plan. Phase 2, task generation strategy. Let's see. Allow. Where'd that come from? Hold on. Why is Arena making sound? Mute. Let's see what's going on here. Stats. I don't know why it timed out. Let's go to
Lunch break! Lunch break.
Let's try plan one more time. Let's see what's going on here. I've already run plan command generate necessary file. Okay, all right, cool. I won't repeat the. All right, good. Can now proceed with task. So let's take a look at the plan. So we did 001 draft the technical plan, research, data model, quick start. So let's take a look at quick start real quick. So we have our spec, we have our quick start. All right, so quick start, focus timers. This guide. Let me see. Can I make this bigger? Can I make this bigger? Adjust font size. And let's just only do this, right? So the quick start. This guide demonstrates how to use the focus. Oh my God! You know what? You know what just happened? It built us documentation before we even coded anything, right? How to actually use it. Before you can use the timers, you need to set your hourly rate. Go to income setup screen, enter your hourly rate, and save. Start the Pomodoro timer. Navigate to the focus timer. The timer will start a 25-minute focus session. You will see the remaining time and the real-time cost accumulating. Start the timer, start a custom timer, navigate to the focus screen, view session summary, view history, right? So then we go to the research. Using the Hive package for local storage. Hive is a lightweight and fast NoSQL data written in pure Dart. This allows storing custom Dart objects. Alternative considered shared preference. I think we use shared preferences for something else. Not suitable for storing a list of. Okay, that makes sense. Background execution. All right, all that perfect. Data model. The data model for this. Okay, cool. And then plan.md. Execution flow. Load feature spec from input if not found. All right, all that summary stuff. All right, cool. So documentation. Source code. Oh, nice. It has everything all laid out for us too. Let's see. Phase 0, outline and research. Phase 1, design and contracts. Phase 2, task planning approach. Phase 3, feature implementation. Sweet. All right. I'm gonna kick off the last one. And then we can go to read our last article, and then we'll check back in on this, but we won't spend a full segment on this. We'll check back in on it on the task command, and then we will wrap up the show for today, okay? So let me do a task is generate an actionable dependency ordered task.md for the time cost. All right, so let's do that, right? We'll do task, and then tasks, and then we shall see what happens next. Do that, boom. Summoning the code gremlins to help, of course. Defining task generation. Let me see. And this one is going to go to check prerequisites. So that's the script that we'll check. We're definitely going to spend a show doing a deep dive into how Spec-Kit works, all the underlying scripts that power this generation, all right? Let's see. I'm gonna do allow always in this case, just so that like it can go through do everything, and while we're reading this last article, okay? So let's do that, and we're gonna go to break. We are going to go to break. All right. Hopefully you guys are finding value in this. Hopefully you are enjoying it. Shout out to the sponsor of the show, Resume Flow, where they analyze your resume, help you get that job that you so desperately want and desire. Let's see. Let me check the chat real quick. Nothing new on the YouTube side of the things. We have 18 years who started following. It's been 18 years who started following on Arena. Shout out to 18 years. And shout out to the 113 people. 113 people watching on Arena. All right. Let me see. Let's do that. All right. So we are going to get into this very, very last article for today for AI work slop. Yes. AI work slop crushing workplace inefficiency. Should I be crushing workplace efficiency or crushing workplace inefficiency? I don't know. I have no idea. Let's figure it out. And if I have to update the title, then I will, right? But let's see. let's go over to this. So AI work slop sabotages productivity, study find. So I guess it would be, let's see. I'm gonna just I'm gonna just rename it to productivity. Let's do that. Let's just say productivity. Let's go with that, right? Let's see. So this is brought to us by Axios by Emily Peck. Shout out to Emily Peck. Let's see. So work slop. AI is what the heck is this? What? Hold on. Let's do. Yes. All right. All right. Let's read this, right? It says AI is supposed to make work easier, but instead it has generated new problem. Work slop. What the heck is work slop? That was late. So why it matters. The term coined by researchers in the latest Harvard Business Review describes low quality AI generated content, memos, reports, emails that's clogging up employees' lives and wasting their time. I could see if you just copy something without reading it, without making the necessary modifications, that's going to be annoying to most people, right? What they're saying. Workshop appears polished but lacks real substance. Right researchers from Stanford University who collaborated with BetterUp, a leadership coaching platform. You might recall the feeling of confusion after opening such a document, followed by frustration, they write. You begin to wonder if the sender simply used AI to generate large blocks of text instead of thinking it through. If this sounds familiar, you have been work slopped. Oh my God. You know what? You know what? If you've been work slopped, you should ask the question.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
How dare you? How dare you work slop me? Don't, that's gonna be a new term. Don't you dare work slop me. Don't you dare work slop me, all right? By the numbers. In August and September, the researchers surveyed 1,150 US adults who described themselves as desk workers about their experiences with work slop. They didn't name the term, but merely defined it. 40% said they'd encountered this stuff in the last month, slowing down their workday. They reported spending an average of 1 hour and 56 minutes each 1 hour and 56 minutes dealing with each. All right, cut the crap. You did not spend 2 hours dealing with each instance of work slop. Come on, be serious. Because me, if I'm dealing with work slop, I'll just stop reading it. All right, I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. It says zoom out. Slop carries real cost. I mean, but what about before AI? I'm telling you, there was tons of work slop before AI. All right, so don't try to blame AI for what humans have been doing for the longest time. All right, zoom out. Slop carries real costs. Looking at the average respondent salary, the researchers estimate work slop incidents cost $186 per month. People waste way more than that, trust me. For a large organization, that can add up to more than $9 million. What? $9 million a year in lost productivity per their back of the envelope math. When asked how work slop made them feel, more than half of the respondents said they were annoyed, 38% said they were confused, and 22% said that they were offended.
How dare you?
I hear that. Why would somebody get offended at work? Can you tell me what could somebody say to you that would offend you at work? The only thing that would probably offend me is saying you're not getting paid this week. That right there, I'd be like, oh wait, slow it down, slow it down. We're not getting paid this week. What? Nope, we're not doing that. And yet there's all right. It says the intrigue. Colleagues look down on work slop senders. About half of those surveyed view slop senders as less creative, capable, and reliable. And yet, they're sending it too. Of those using AI to work, 18% admit sending AI-generated content that was unhelpful, low effort, or quality. Wow. If you know it's unhelpful, low effort, or quality, then it's not the AI that's work slop. You, my friend, my friend, are the work slop. The big picture. Work slop is the workplace offshoot of the general run of the AI generated slop most of us see day to day. Rabbits jumping on trampolines, fast fashion ads featuring Luigi Mangione, weird uncanny images of hands with the wrong number of fingers. And so, oh, I've seen those. I've seen those plenty of times in my thumbnails, and I will cover I will cover them up with text. All right. It's also another sign that AI isn't necessarily translating into productivity gains. I disagree with that. I disagree with that 100%. I think AI is definitely contributing to productivity gains. It's the people who don't know how to use AI who are not contributing to those productivity gains, because I have used Gemini to help me install, build custom plugins for the Indigo event management app. We set up Okta. We set up a Slack plugin to notify users. We use it to customize look and feel. So many things. Build applications, so many different things. So I disagree with that. I think this is a biased report, but also people who don't know how to use AI, they're contributing to crap, right? It says a report from MIT out a few months ago found that 95% of business AI pilots projects fail. I disagree. I disagree. Maybe who am I to be disagreeing with MIT? I'm Tech Coach Ralph. I am Tech Coach Ralph, and I disagree with MIT.
Another one.
It says zoom in. The researchers noticed work slop in their daily lives as friends, colleagues, and families shared frustrating experiences, said Jeffrey Hancock, director of Stanford Social Media Labs. Survey respondents also shared examples, including from healthcare providers who griped about getting long AI generated reports from patients that diagnose their health problems using data from Fitbits or Oura Rings without any real medical underpinning. I'll say this though. I've seen people who use AI to analyze their um whatever reports that they can't understand, and then they bring it back to their doctor and they're like, "Oh, I didn't think about that." Now, the doctor's not going to say it like that because they're going to feel offended, but I guarantee you that the doctors are informed of things they didn't consider, and then they make plans, but they're not going to admit it because they want to be right. They will never admit the patient is right. Healthcare is one of the few places that the patient is never right. It says yes, well before the advent of AI, employees were generating poorly constructed memos, PowerPoints, and I said so. Didn't I say so? Employees had work slop before AI. Researchers told Axios that workers reporting the most slop were in tech, healthcare, and professional services. Consulting is basically ground zero for the overwrought slide deck. The bottom line, you can use AI to make your work better, says Kate Nienderhofer, vice president of Better Up Labs and one of the researchers. But you can also use it to pretend to get 20 tasks done, she says, and just Trojan horse a bunch of work to your colleagues. It is what it is. But there you go. There you go. All right. Let's go to the chat really quick, and then we're gonna check on this. Actually, no. Before we do the chat, we're gonna check on what happened when we did the task command, and then we're going to wrap it up from there. Right. Let's. All right. And then I'll check it. So, task command, chat, wrap up the show. Okay. Let's see what happened over here. Let's see. So we ran the task command. It did a bunch of tasks, a bunch of write files. And let's see. Shell command. I generated the task. Command substitution, generated task, reporting completion. I've already generated the task. I'll inform the user. I've already generated the task. You can find, all right, so let's take a look at the task real quick. And if we go to tasks and we go open this, task focus timers, add hive for T001, add hive, hive, flutter, all of these to the pub spec, and then initialize hive in main dart. Let's see. So how would we run this? Create timer session. UI implementation. So basically, these are all. Oh, and I like that. I like that. Write unit test. Write unit test for timer service, for storage service, for test. Write integration test for this dependencies, parallel example. Sweet. So if we go back to here, what would be the next step to implement these? Now you can now proceed with implementing the tasks. How we implement the task? Let's see. Implement. Execute the implementation plan by proceeding. By proceeding. And all right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave it here, and we will proceed. Let me see if I go here, and we do /impl. All right, cool, perfect. So we're gonna leave it at that. If I go to specs, specify over here, we have templates, tasks, scripts. Sweet. Cool. All right. So like I said, we're gonna leave it at that. Maybe next week. Next week we will do the implementation where we're gonna start to implement this particular feature. We're gonna try to avoid using Devin. We're gonna see if Gemini or maybe Claude Code can implement these features. We have a whole list of tasks to implement, and what we'll do is we will, looking at the implementation plan, we will start implementing one by one, see what happens, and go from there. All right. Let me check the chat really quick, and then we will wrap it up. All right. Over on YouTube, Junior says, let's see. Junior says they always have new terms. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. It says, don't say that to a woman. She might take it the wrong way. All that work slop that's happening over here. What is this work slop of yours? What? And she's gonna hit you with the.
How dare you?
All right, and over on the arena side of the game, we have SK Alam says, what time might you want my, and then didn't say anything else. But shout out to, we got 111 people on arena. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and allowing me to add just a little bit more value into your lives. Hopefully everyone enjoyed Spec-Kit. As I worked through it, it was weird that I didn't see it in Android Studio or in VS Code at the time. But we got to play around with the Gemini CLI. We'll do a deep dive in Gemini CLI maybe next week, software explorations. But it was all good. It was all good. I think that's everything. Do me a favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Go to techcoachrob.dev. To sign up, you can see our sprint review that we're going to be having. That I'm going to be doing it today, and I'm going to be sharing it to the Patreon during the week. We have our Vibe Code and Chill session coming up Saturday. You can watch the one from last Saturday, which is in the Patreon. All that great stuff that we're doing, adding value all around, all that good stuff, right? But that's it. That is it. I will see you guys tomorrow for Content Conversations at noon Eastern Time. I'm going to be sharing with you my 3 words on how to get anything done. You say these 3 words to you anytime, and it will empower you to get things done. All right. But that is it for today. I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. A wonderful week. Let's hit it strong. All right. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
Spartans! What is your profession?
I try to live what they let go, away to dreams they'll never know. But a drowning soul can't save the tide, and now I see I must step aside.
I fought till my hands turned to stone, carrying battles that weren't my own. They swore they'd stand but turned away, left me to bleed in the fray.
I held the line. spark, they misunderstood. They whispered dreams they never choose. Said they were in, but lived to lose. I can't fight for you no more. Knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in, but faded out. Your silence echoes a deafening shout.
I wanted to see your colors fly, but you clipped your wings and let them die. You crave the fall, not the fight to win. A war within that you let begin.
I can't fight for you no more. Knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in, but faded out. Your silence echoes a deafening shout. I saw the fire dim in their eyes, promises buried under their lies. They wore the crown of fleeting belief, but ran from the throne when it brought grief. Oh,
I tried to carry your weight on my back, but your shadow was a heavy attack. You disappeared when the fire burned high, left me screaming at an empty sky.
I wanted the victory more than they, but you can't chase stars for those who stray. So I lay down the sword and walk away. The battle's lost, they chose decay. I can't fight for you no more. Knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in, but faded out. Your silence echoes a deafening shout. Oh, they vanish like shadows in the light, fading away when it's time to fight. I reach my hand, they let it fall. I can't catch ghosts, I've given it all.
Oh, they vanish like shadows in the light, fading away when it's time to fight. I reached my hand, they let it fall. I can't catch ghosts, I've given it all.
Hello, I'm Samantha from Resume Flow, and I think it's time we had some real talk about what you're going through. I can only imagine how painful this experience must be for you right now. You were sold a dream, guaranteed high-paying job, career transformation, financial freedom. So you invested thousands of dollars, maybe even went into debt, trusting that this boot camp would change your life. They gave you what they called an expertly crafted resume, promised you were job ready, and sent you off into the world with confidence. But then reality hit, didn't it? The job market didn't welcome you with open arms like they promised. The interviews weren't flowing in. And when you went back to them for help, what did they tell you? Oh, you just need to apply to more jobs. Try 3,984 applications with that amazing resume we gave you. And maybe, just maybe, you'll qualify for a refund. Let me be clear about something. That's not your failure. That's their system failing you. The truth is, most bootcamp resumes are generic templates that don't actually showcase your unique value or speak the language that hiring managers want to hear. They're not optimized for applicant tracking systems. They don't tell your story effectively, and they certainly don't position you as the solution to an employer's specific problems. But here's what I want you to know. Hope is not lost. Not even close. I want to offer you something different, something real. Let Resume Flow take that fantastic resume your bootcamp provided and actually make it work for you. Our AI will analyze it against real job descriptions, showing you exactly where the gaps are and how to fix them. We'll help you save and track the jobs that actually make sense for your background, not just any job with a pulse. When you do get interviews, and you will, we'll generate practice questions based on your specific resume and the exact job description you're applying for. No more generic interview prep. No more hoping you're ready. I know you might feel taken advantage of. I know you might feel like you wasted your money, your time, your trust. Those feelings are completely valid. But please don't let their broken promises define your future. Your boot camp taught you real skills. You have real value to offer. You just need the right strategy, the right tools, and the right support to show the world what you're capable of. Let Resume Flow team up with you during this job search. Not to make empty promises, but to give you the practical tools and insights you need to actually change your career trajectory. You've already invested so much in your future. Let us help you protect that investment and turn it into the success you were promised. You deserve better than applying to thousands of jobs and hoping for the best. You deserve a strategic approach that actually works. And most importantly, you deserve to succeed. Meet me at resumeflow.app and let's start working together today.